Happy birthday, Scorpio. Welcome back to Love from Leo. My name is Tay, otherwise known as Love from Leo, and today is your November 2019 tarot reading. This month, what you're going to be focusing on is believing, and also staying away from destructive escapism. This is your season, and so maybe a lot of you are going to be celebrating or getting into things that could give you the option to escape. But just make sure you are not escaping to the deep end, okay? Because things will start to shift in a very weird way for you. So in the past, we have three cards. We have Two of Pentacles in reverse, Ace of Swords, and then the World card. So we're going to start off from the Two of Pentacles in reverse. So last month, or maybe some months prior to November, you were going through hard times. And these could be hard times with finances, or meaning that you were having trouble with balancing work and play. And these could have resulted in a very challenging type of energy for you to have to deal with in your past month. So you were going through some things, right? But with the Ace of Swords, I think that you were having the mentality of branching out. Like you wanted to start something new. And I think you were having inspiration and also ideas about what things can look like in the future. And then with the World card, I think all of those trials and tribulations that you were going through, once you started to have these ideas, okay, you passed the test, Scorpio. That's all we needed. All we needed for you to do was end that chapter of your life with all of this chaos so that you could start your new thing. So you could start whatever you've been thinking about lately. So let's get a little bit more details on this situation so we can have a little bit more clarity. So for the Two of Pentacles in reverse, what was the chaos in the past? What was the chaos coming about? With Eight of Pentacles, I think it was really just about work. Maybe you were working a lot, or you had a lot of hours, or it was something where work was taking up a lot of energy or time. You couldn't figure out where you could have your own leisure time. And for some of you, all you did was leisure. Like you didn't do any work. And so then that caught up with you. What new thing were you starting to think about? What is it that you wanted to branch out and do? There were some new things coming into play, and I think there were some new ideas. What was this related to for Scorpio? Emperor card in reverse. So with the Emperor card being in reverse, I automatically think that you wanted to switch your job, because there's some issues where it's just like you're fed up. You're like, look, let's just do something different. It could be family members. There's some dynamic in your life that you were like, I want to do something different. I want to end this chapter of my life. And I think it has a lot to do with work for a lot of you. So congratulations if you have moved on to a new phase in your life where you're looking for a new job, starting a new career, or just taking the leap of faith to quit your job to start something new. It takes a lot of courage for most people to do that. Universe was giving you signs because you were just too exhausted, you felt too chaotic, you weren't balanced, you weren't able to enjoy yourself. And so those are the signs where it's like, okay, if I'm pulling my hardest, if I'm holding on tight to something, that's usually the time where it's time to let it go. That's the sign to let it go, when you have to hold on to something. Congratulations in that aspect of your life. Let's go ahead and see if there's any signs in particular that were causing this chaos as well. What signs were causing any tension for you? We have the Gemini card. Gemini sun, moon, rising, and or Venus could be an indicator or a representation of someone who was adding on to your stress. For those of you who are going through this still, and for those of you who just don't really know if you made the right decision and what you decided to do, what is the best way to move in this energy for Scorpio? Queen of Pentacles, fixed earth. So this ties into Taurus-like energy, which is ruled by Venus and Earth, which is perfectly related to this earth energy because we're talking about your work life for most of you. So Queen of Pentacles means you deserve to enjoy life's riches and the rewards that you can get from working hard. This card is urging you to realize that within yourself. Like you need to have enough confidence and respect for yourself to know that if you're not happy at a certain job, or if you're not happy in the position you are in your life, it's time to make some changes so that you don't have to be there anymore. And so it's also about kind of gathering yourself internally and learning that you are all you need in life. You know, obviously you need money to, you know, buy food and things like that. But on a deeper level, all you need is yourself. All you came in the world with is yourself. Everything else is additional. You know, everything else is something you add on. And so if you can remember that, it'll kind of give you that boost of confidence that you need to really take that step forward, that leap of faith, to leave something behind that doesn't deserve you, which is in most of your cases, your job. Okay, so let's move on into the present energy. We have the Empress card in reverse. So this is definitely attached to the message that was happening in the past. So you guys are really moving into the stage where you're really learning to appreciate yourself. There's been this message for a lot of signs this November. Appreciate yourself. Put the work in for yourself, like physically, you know? Like, I know we always talk about be confident, have self-esteem, but like, in order to really have that, you got to physically work on yourself. And I feel like for a lot of you Scorpios, you forgot to value yourself. Like you just plain forgot it. You almost made it to where it wasn't even a priority. You're like, who cares if I look good? I'm just trying to go to work so I can have money to put on my table. And it's like, yeah, that's a good way to be, but it's like, why not enjoy all in totality of what you're working for? If you're working to be in the house so you can eat on that table, why not work so that you can feel beautiful in that house? You can feel, you know, like you work for a reason. You shouldn't live to work. You have to work so that you're able to live. Like it's a totally different dynamic. It's like, what do you need to do to improve your relationship with yourself? Five of Pentacles in reverse. So some of you may need some good old assistance. Like some of you may just need to look up, how do I take care of myself? How can I have a spa day for myself? How can I have a relaxing day? What can I do to make myself, like some of you just may have to just go out there and ask for advice, seriously, because you never take the time to do this. So it's completely foreign to even how you work as a person, you know? But Five of Pentacles is also about recovery after a time of a lot of just hard work or just a challenging time. It's about, you know, kind of allowing yourself to breathe and to digest and process everything that's happened and recover. That's the main point, recover. So a lot of you who have just kind of transitioned out of this work, or always stressed, always chaotic, always moving, always intense energy, you're moving into the stage where it's like you finally have time to care about yourself and to take care of yourself. But now you're like, shit, where do I start? So now it's just about processing. Let everything digest, you know? It's like after you eat some food, the moment before you go back into the pool, the moment where you sit out so that you don't throw up, that's the type of energy that this card is talking about. So it's all about recovery. Now, I was going to see something about this card. Five of Pentacles, Empress in reverse. Okay, so let's look at the signs. So what signs around you could be someone that you need to stay away from during this recovery? Because I feel like right now it's more about staying away from certain people, because I feel like all you need right now is yourself. Okay, so we have the Cancer card here. Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, and or Venus. So if you have a Cancer sign around you, then maybe it's time to take a little break from them. I don't think this person is like a bad person. I just think that they take away from your peace of mind. Like they kind of make you, I don't know. It's kind of like whenever someone is around you and you want to chill, but they're not the person that you chill with, so it ruins the vibe. It's that type of person. So just be on the lookout for that. I want to see what can you actually do to improve your relationship with yourself, but in advice form. So like, what do you really need to do on the deeper meaning of things to improve that relationship with yourself? Okay, so we got two cards. We got the Virgo card, and then we got the Two of Pentacles. So the Hermit card is basically saying you need to start preparing because your life is about to change in a big way. And I said this for another maybe 2 or 3 signs as well, but there's some major shifts going on for a lot of signs. And the Hermit card is saying, look, you need to start meditating, you need to start, or if you pray, whatever you do, you need to start doing that because things are about to shift and you need to be spiritually protected. You need to be spiritually ready for that. That's a blessing in disguise. Anytime you get the Hermit card for advice, that means, girls, some things are about to change, or guys, some things are about to change in a very major way. So be prepared for that. And then Two of Pentacles reminds you that you need to have a healthy relationship with work and play. Work and play is like another version of the balance between masculine and feminine. Putting in work and then also relaxing and having the time to internalize things and understand the way that you feel about certain things as well. And then you also have to exercise the art of letting things happen. So again, with that balance of masculinity and femininity, the masculine part puts in the action towards something, which is something that I think you have mastered because you were just good at putting in a lot of work, okay? But the feminine side is allowing things to happen, allowing things to unfold. So in your situation, this would be allowing yourself to trust the process of life and to see that you might not have that job anymore, but it's not the end of the road. Like that was just a piece of something so much bigger, and you have to allow that to happen. And that's the true balance between the yin and the yang, the masculine and feminine, whatever you want to call it. So let's move into your future. So this future card is going to represent your next month, which is December, but also could represent the months after that leading into your 2020. So this is going to be very interesting to see what's going on. So the energy of everything going on, the base, the heart of your future is the Five of Wands in reverse. All right, Scorpio. So old attitudes and old behaviors, it's not going to cut it anymore. This is a new life. This is new territory. So I definitely think this is going to be talking about your 2020 as well. So make sure you're subscribed so that you're up to date with this reading, okay? There's going to be a lot of things that are shifting, and a lot of the things that you were okay with are not going to fly anymore. And so those rules apply to you as well. So there's some things that your new lifestyle is just not going to tolerate. The things that you have issues with when it comes to people, it's time to find a compromise. Like all of this arguing and things like that, that's unnecessary energy that's being put against you. You know what I'm saying? So you need to be working towards harmony. You need to focus on not having issues with people because you got issues with yourself that you got to worry about. And those come first. This also is a reminder to stay away from any risky or questionable situations. I'm giving you a warning, Scorpio, because usually when I see this card in reverse, it's a very cautionary card. It's saying, look, don't get into anything stupid. If it feels risky or if it feels like something you shouldn't be doing in the future, stay away from it, okay? So what old attitudes are being left behind? Whoa. We have the Two of Wands, and then we also have the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. So let's break these down. So you're leaving behind this habit that you have of waiting to see what's going to happen, waiting for something good to happen. Like there's no more waiting. Like now it's time to do. Like this is all action. And Two of Wands is not a bad card by any means. It just means now, like, look, you've already started something, you've been started it. Now it's not time to wait. Now we're just putting in action. We're not waiting anymore. But we're also watching out for what we're putting in action towards. And the Seven of Pentacles, like I was saying, in reverse, you're going to be leaving behind anxiety, any doubts or any worries that you have. You're leaving all of those in the past. So you're leaving behind this complacency type of energy where it's like you're being stagnant because you don't know if it's the right move, which is sometimes it's a good thing, but in your case for your future, it's time to move on from that energy. And then we also have you leaving behind and being impatient, being afraid, being insecure. Like we're leaving behind the things that have been holding you back essentially. So there's a lot of good things coming your way. Let's just go ahead and see, what is this thing that's coming? Like what are you having to leave behind because you have something else coming? There's clearly something coming your way. So what is it? What's coming Scorpio's way? Positive. We have some new communication, some new relationships that may be formed. So there's some things coming your way and they're going to come really fast. You kind of have to be in this mindset where you're not afraid to take the opportunity. But you also need to make sure you're being smart about what you're doing as well. Make sure you're staying balanced. Make sure you're meditating. Make sure you're staying clear-headed. Oh, yeah, because you have a win coming. You have a win coming. Scorpios are going to be winning. Six of Wands, perfect. You have a win coming. Amazing, amazing. And it may show up in a way where you least expect it because it's probably going to show up in a conflict or an ending of something that you thought you loved or someone you thought you loved. The win is coming, okay? So as I did see there may be a breakup in the future, let's just go ahead and see who would the Scorpios be breaking up with in the future. What signs? All right, so we got the Pisces. Pisces Sun, Moon, Rising, and or Venus. So some of you might be breaking up with a Pisces in the future or someone who has Pisces very strong in their chart. And then also Capricorn for some of you. Capricorn Sun, Moon, Rising, and or Venus. If you guys need a little bit of help on understanding someone else's placements in their chart, you can email me for a reading at lovefromaleo@gmail.com. That will help you really get into the nitty-gritty of what needs to be worked on, if someone even works for you, if you guys even work out, all of that good stuff. Now, anyways, let's go to the advice. What's the advice for those in the future? How should Scorpio be carrying themselves in the future for the most success? I have a feeling that December reading is going to be very, very, very interesting. So make sure you're subscribed, like I said. And then the last piece of advice we have is the Six of Cups, which is one of your energy cards with the Scorpio sign there. You have to get real and form a relationship with your emotions, with your insides, the way you feel. You are Scorpio, so I think you naturally have that, but some of you, because you know how intense it can be, some of you kind of distance yourself from your natural abilities. And so in the future, I think, well, 2020, I think is going to have a big impact on you becoming more in touch with that side of yourself, because I feel like a lot of you have learned how to not listen to that side of yourself. And so yeah, it looks like things are transitioning where you in the past, in this whole past year, I think you were so focused on like the masculine aspects of yourself, whether you're female or male, and then now moving into this future, you're definitely going to be morphing into a more feminine conscious person. And working on that feminine side. So that's going to be very, very interesting. Thank you so much for allowing me to read for you, Scorpio. I really enjoyed it. If you enjoyed it, make sure you subscribe and join the family, because I'm always posting. I love what I do and I want you to be a part of it as well. Please leave a like, because it helps me out so much, and it'll also help you to get more content like this. And last but not least, if you would like a personalized reading from me, you can email me at lovefromaleo@gmail.com. Please remember to check the description box for anything extra that you may need, because it's probably in there. And yeah, I will see you guys very, very soon. Bye, Scorpio.